Coach DeCarlo. Today I want to talk about you're on all the time. Many people will wonder what that phrase means when Mr. Lindell says you're on all the time. It simply means that your energy system and you never go off. You never go off air. It's always broadcasting. It's always transmitting. Now, how does that affect you? Jesus said it this way, that we shall give an account even for our idle words. So we know that words have power. We know that thoughts have power. We know that feelings and states have power. They never go off. Allow me to share with you a story. I was running my mind through a solution of something I was working through, so I thought to call a friend. I reached out to this friend and he said, I was just talking about you. Me and another friend were talking about you, and I wanted to bridge you online with me and this other friend. So, of course, we got on the call and we started talking and we started brainstorming. It was such a productive meeting that, I immensely enjoyed it. And it was what I needed at that moment. Now, the question is, who manifested who? The truth is, we manifested collectively, all three of us manifested one another. It was what each one of us needed at that moment. Now, I thought that I was reaching out to my friend for a particular matter, and of course we quickly touched on that. But beyond that, there was more in store for us. What I took from that encounter was bigger, better, more. I know that God in me is not a one-seed God. Now you say, well, DeCarlo, what do you mean by that? God does not just sow a seed in us, an ideal in us, a concept in us, and expect for us to produce one plant of growth, one avenue of abundance, one avenue of relationships or health. He desires for us to have it all. And we can have it all if we begin to operate from a state of having. And that's what I took from that meeting. And what I know is that I've been created to be a blessing. And being a blessing, I share what's been given to me with you. And as I share, as I'm poured out, then of course, as I grow, we grow and we outgrow. We grow and we outgrow. As we grow, it's not simply about us. It's about those that we're impacting. If you take that into your relationship and you say, how can I benefit this business? How can I benefit this relationship? How can I benefit myself by way of health, my habits? When we hear, O Israel, the Lord thy God is one. You should love the Lord thy God with all your heart, your soul, and your mind. And you should love your neighbor as yourself. There's the love of God, there's the love of neighbor, and there's the love of self. But notice this, it said, love your neighbor as yourself. So you're already to have a love for yourself. If you're not appropriately loving oneself, then of course you can't love God or your neighbor or anyone else. So it's important that you get a proper self-image of yourself and understand that you are a part of the divine creator of the universe. And we simply say you're God's. I don't mean that you're a single God in and of yourself. You're connected with the wholeness known as God. And that's why each one of us are gods. It's not that we're individual gods standing up on a mountain saying, I am God alone. You're not God alone. You're God within a system of gods, being one God. And we're all connected to that universal being we call God. Now, why do I say this? Often I say, of course, your energy systems, your spiritual beings having a human experience. If you understand that you're always on, you must understand that you're always transmitting something. So whether that's abundance or lack, whether that's health or illness, whether that's relationships or loneliness, we're always transmitting something. Now, it is important to be mindful before you go to sleep what it is that you're giving your attention to, because of course you're taking that attention into your rest state. And again, what we envision, we outpicture. If you're envisioning lack, for example, then the only thing that you can outpicture is lack. So get in your mind's eye, not in your five senses, not yet. Get in your mind's eye the person that you desire to be. Now you say, well, Coach, I don't feel like that person right now. I just need for you to get the picture. Because see, if you can begin getting a picture of who it is you desire to be, then you can begin to outpicture it. The reason many of you have not manifested the life that you desire is because you can't hold it in imagination. Simply, you don't believe it. But once you begin believing what it is that you say to yourself and about yourself, it's just a matter of time before that verbalization, those words, begin to be manifested in your reality. It must, by way of divine decree, be it unto you according to your faith. This is not just a haphazard statement that someone made up that has no validity to it. It has credence to it, and it works. But the problem is most of us just fail to persevere. As we persevere in the new concept, the new ideal of who it is that we believe that we are, we soon become that person. Remember, I said earlier, you're a spiritual being having a human experience. If you're a spiritual being having a human experience, the human experience isn't who you are. Many of us have so identified with the human experience, we fail to understand that we can clothe ourselves in any state that we desire. So we can clothe ourselves in a state of health. We can clothe ourselves in a state of abundance. We can clothe ourselves in a state of love. Once we begin operating from that state, not forcing it. Many of us want to force the principles, the laws, and wonder why it's not going to work. As Mr. Lindell will often say, you either stroll in or you don't get in. You don't fight your way into your manifestation. You release and allow manifestation to take place. And as you allow what it is that you believe to begin manifesting in your life, change is the byproduct. It must be. And as you understand that, you'll begin to envision and outpicture what you can hold in your mind's eye with feelings, knowing that it is in fact your reality. Life must reproduce what it is that you've given your attention to. Many of us have given our attention to lack, loss, and limitation in what media says in the news. So, of course, the only thing that we can reproduce as a mass version of God is more of the same. But collectively, you can begin transforming your world by focusing your attention on what it is that you desire to manifest in your life. And once you do that, what you're going to find is that you're always on, but you're going to be on consciously creating the life that you desire. This is Coach DeCarlo saying have a great and abundant day.